G'day, how you going? We are now in Darwin. Darwin, that wasn't even intentional. So yeah, it's about 2.5 hour drive up from Crocodile National Park. We're staying at YHA just because we went to go to a caravan park, and because it's coming from dry to wet season, it's technically cyclone season. So they were like, oh yeah, we don't actually allow tents in cyclone season. Yeah, we're just staying at YHA. YHA is pretty good. Had a little look at like stuff to do in Darwin, and I think like actually in Darwin there's not loads. I think most of it is like Kakadu, Litchfield, like around Darwin, like the area. So obviously we've done Kakadu, we're going to do Litchfield on the way back down towards Catherine, and then when we go west. And I actually didn't even look at how far away Broome was from Darwin, so I thought Broome would be like a 5-6 hour drive from Darwin. And I actually bothered to map it yesterday. It's an 18-hour drive from Darwin, so yeah, that should be interesting. This is Darwin waterfront. So there's a wave pool over there, and there's like a total wipeout circuit there, which is pretty fun. This is like a man-made kind of beach at the waterfront, because obviously around here there's saltwater crocodiles, so this is kind of to stop that. So yeah, it's like a little beach area, pretty cool. Free obviously, but there could be stingers, like stinging jellyfish in here. Just a sign over there just to say if you feel a sting, report it. Like they try to keep them out, but you know, can't get them all. This guy. I've just spoke for like 5 minutes at the camera and didn't press record. So we're just at Minda Beach, which you normally have beach like sunset beach markets here in the like high season, but it's coming to the end of the dry season now, going into the wet, and there's not too much going on really in and around Darwin. We just missed the night markets because they ended at the end of October, and it's like the 3rd of November. So a bit gutted about that because it probably would have been sick. But yeah, the main kind of attraction apart from that at Minda Beach is the sunset, so we've just come to watch that. Morning! So we are now just leaving Darwin. I've just dropped Em off at the airport because yeah, she needs to go home, because basically it was either here or Perth, and she didn't think she'd have enough money etc to make it to Perth. So I'm sure there's loads more stuff in Darwin. We literally spent like 2 or 3 days there, but we're kind of more interested in like the nature and the beaches and the waterfalls and stuff rather than the cities, so we just spend too much money there. So yeah, so we're now heading to Litchfield National Park, which is on a map like down and a bit left of Darwin. It's about an hour and a half drive from Darwin roughly. So yeah, we're going there now. I'm going to check out a couple of waterfalls, so yeah, should be sick. Okay, so we're now at Wangi Falls. There's loads of stuff here. It's not just waterfall, it's like a cafe. They've got free Wi-Fi, there's quite a few people here. The car park's basically full. Don't know if that's because it's a Sunday, but I feel like there'd probably be pretty much like quite a few people here a lot of the time. There's barbecues, picnic area. Obviously there's crocodiles around, so you have to only swim in designated areas. But the actual waterfall is only about, I think it's 140 metre return, just if you want to go for a swim. There's also a loop walk that you can do, which is about 1.7 k's. Should take about an hour and a half, and there's various lookouts as well. So probably just go waterfall first, cool off, and then see how we feel. But yeah, pretty excited. Okay, yeah, so that was Wangi Falls. Yeah, it was really cool. One of the best ones I think I've been to. But I think you can only, a sign said you can only go in the dry season because in the wet it kind of floods and brings in all the saltwater crocs. So you can't swim there in the wet. So we're kind of doing like a bit of an unintentional waterfall loop today. So yeah, Wangi Falls. So we've just driven 10 k's up the road to Tolmer Falls. We're not going to get in. We're just going to go for the little viewing platform walk, and then on to Florence Falls after. This is the viewing platform. You can just about see the waterfall down there. You can hear it. Not the best view of the waterfall, but this is a pretty sick view across the park. Just green for days. This is Florence Falls. Just a look out, about to go down for a swim. Right, so yeah, that was Florence Falls. Not sure which one I prefer out of Wangi and Florence. That one, Florence, maybe just a little bit because there's no croc signs. So although it's very unlikely you get bitten or anything by a croc, it's just a little bit easier to chill under a waterfall when there's not a crocodile warning. So yeah, maybe that one. You can do what we did, get to the plunge pool via, I think it's 135 steps and like 400 meters, or you can do like I think it's a K and a bit, or nearly 2Ks, not sure, like loop walk. But it's not, that's like the good thing about Florence and Wangi Falls is like normally to get to a waterfall it's a real trek, but obviously Wangi Falls was right there, and this one it's hardly anything. Like 135 steps isn't really much to get to a waterfall and back. So yeah, I definitely recommend. Both really good. Now to try and find somewhere to camp for the night. Not sure if this guy's dead or not. He's just chilling. Hasn't moved. Okay, so we've just driven maybe like I think 6 or something k's further down the road to Termite Mounds. Just a little turn off if you're heading towards Bachelor. It's like a loop, so you come down from Darwin, go around Wangi Falls, Florence Falls, towards Bachelor, and then you get back on the Stuart Highway. So yeah, we just stopped off because there's these massive termite mounds like all the way up, like all the way through Northern Territory. Anyway, but get a good like close-up view of them. Okay, there's quite a few. I don't know why you can see, but they are pretty big. Righto, we're now at Adelaide River. Adelaide River the town, not Adelaide River the place, but I think it's not far anyway. Because there's not really anywhere to stay in Litchfield. There's like a few caravan sites, and 3 of them were near a place called Bachelor, which is a tiny little town, and we drove in and around like 3 of them, and they all looked well like creepy, and there's nobody else there. It just seemed like it was like semi-permanent camps for like miners, because they mine uranium around there, I think. So we were just like, nah, it just looks a bit scary. So we drove maybe like 45 minutes down to Adelaide River, which in 2016 the population was like 353, so it's not a very big town. And there was a campsite or like motel rooms. We drove around the campsite again, and we were literally going to be the only people there, so we were like, nah. So we've opted for budget accommodation, which costs about $40 each for the night for a private room. We have got a bathroom and we have got a TV, so we're living it up tonight. No expense spared at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. Welcome to 1983. This is our private suite, and this is the bathroom. Look at that snazzy curtain. Look at this shower, sparkling. And Adelaide River's claim to fame is that there is a stuffed buffalo in the pub called Charlie, who starred in Crocodile Dundee the films 1 and 2. This is just the pub at Adelaide River. Check out the buffalo. Here he is. Crocodile Dundee buffalo.